Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at people who said if we're both single by the age of 40, let's get married. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I had an uncle who did this with a girl for when they turned 35. They turned 35 and laughed it off, but ended up dating instead. A few years later, they got married. Oh, I think most who do it are already interested in each other. They just don't want to admit it yet. And then they waited all these years, They're interested, but you know what? Let's wait 20 years and see what happens then. Best friends since we were really young. Always had crushes on each other off and on. In high school, our timing was awful and we never ended up dating, but we did make a marriage pact. If we were both single at 30 years old, we'd get married. Some years passed. We moved away from each other, grew distant, dated other people. Long story short, we're now back in each other's lives, and I'm reasonably sure we're going to make good on the pact earlier than originally anticipated. Wow, so in the end, they all go back to each other. Wow. Like, do they really genuinely think they're not going to be able to get married or something? Or is this just like a backup plan to feel a bit better so that they know they have someone to lean on kind of thing? That's still really cute though. I made this pact with my best friend in high school. Several years down the road, we ended up being together, but long before the time frame was up. We will be married next year. Oh yeah. I do feel like when people make this kind of pact, they do have a little bit of feelings for each other already. Because why would you make this with someone that you don't like, right? When we were 25, one of my best friends and I decided that at 35, we'd get married if we were still single. She moved back to the same town I lived in a year later, and I realized I loved her too much to wait until 35. Been together 2 years now. We're getting married next week. Oh. They were like, no, 10 more years, no way. My best friend growing up and I made this pact. We were 13 to 14 at the time. The pact was if we didn't marry anyone by 30, we would marry each other. A few years later, we moved it to 25. How cute. They were like 30 is too long. You know what? Let's go 25. 25 is still pretty young to get married, I feel like. By the time we were 19 to 20, we started dating. We got married at 22. Just celebrated our 3rd anniversary. Wow, they got married early. I feel like that's early, isn't it? 22. Nowadays, ain't it? I mean, the thing is, I remember when I was in high school, I was like, I'm definitely getting married by the time I'm 23. Because by that time, I'm already out of uni and I'm probably working. And I thought I was going to have a kid by 25. Little did I know that I'm going to be single forever now. That's the thing though. Back then, I feel like I thought being single was a bad thing by the time I was 20 or something, And I didn't know I was going to like it this much being single. That's crazy, eh? Like back then I was like, if I'm single, oh my gosh, I'm going to be such a failure. Nothing's going to work out, I'm not going to have a family. I'm going to be alone forever. Things are just going to be bad. But then I'm living the life right now being single. I've made a pact with 2 people and neither of them know. What? She has a backup within a backup. Nice. I mean, it's good to have backup plans. My friend and I got drunk one night and said, if we're still single in 5 years, let's get married. 5 years later, we got married. Dated for 2 years before that. Just celebrated our 5th wedding anniversary and have a baby girl and an amazing life. Oh, nice. That's cute, man. They obviously liked each other before that. In my early 20s, I would hook up with this chick here and there. We were actually pretty good friends, but we never really hung out outside of social groups, which is a shame. She was fun and we always kind of found ourselves in the corner ignoring the group. Anyways, we made a pact that if we weren't in a relationship by 30, we would get married. Turns out she got back with her ex. It's been 10 years and she reminded me of our marriage pact. I had completely forgotten. We're both married now, to other people. We still talk here and there, and sometimes she tells me that she thinks we would have made a great couple, so I worry that she's not too happy where she is. I haven't seen her in person in years. I feel like she liked him more than he liked her. I feel like it's because no one made a move, like she didn't confess, he didn't confess. I mean, he didn't like her, right? But maybe she liked him. I mean, maybe she was too afraid to confess, and she was like, you know what, I'll just get back together with my ex. But then she realized when she was back with her ex that the other guy was way better. or like something, you know. That's why she said this, because why else would she be like, we would have made a great couple, you know. I would just say that if you're already married. That's kind of weird. I made a baby pact with a friend. That is, if I hit a certain age that I now can't remember, he would impregnate me. I knew we wouldn't be good together romantically, but he was a solid best friend and would have been a great dad. It was also a safety net for me that helped me leave a relationship. I had been convinced that no one else would ever love me and I'd never be a mum. Anyway, he ended up introducing me to my now husband, who I have a child with, while he is married to someone far better suited to his personality than me. So I'd say it worked out for the best of everyone. Oh, that's cute. What a good best friend, honestly. So nice. I, now late 30s female, made a joke marriage pact with a gay male friend back in 99, or so before gay marriage was legal. Promised to marry before 40. We both got married this year, to different men with the same first name. So not quite what was asked, but were amused. I thought this was going where I thought it was, you know. I thought they both got married to each other, and I was like, wait, I thought he was gay though. Oh my gosh. I already had so many scenarios in my mind. I was like, maybe he said he was gay so he could be closer to her so she won't suspect anything, and then they'll just be like best friends close, and then later he's gonna confess everything. But no, they got married to different people. I on and off dated a wonderful woman for a few years. Commitment was always kind of on and off, and we both dated other people during this time. Things were exacerbated by us both being single parents. Mine were quite a bit older than hers, even though she was older than me. We were always quite close. When we were dating, we'd talk about our respective partners, no jealousy whatsoever. We ended up being as friends with benefits for a while. One night speaking on MSN, we made a pact that if we both hit 40 and neither of us were married, then we would get hitched. To be honest, for quite some time, I thought we actually would get married. During one of our drier spells, I was at her house fixing her washing machine, and her sister popped in to say hi. Well, not only did she look amazing, but I could tell she was checking me out, but I left it at that. More talking online, and I joke with her that I'm going to bet her sister, and she jokes back that I should try if I want, but that her sister is married and very happy. Turns out, not as happy as everyone thought. Very long story cut short, I've been married to her sister for 4 years now. Oh my gosh. She did not take the news well to start off with, but that's mostly because I broke the news in such a jerk way because I was drunk and thought it was funny. We all get along like a house on fire. Her parents, after the initial shock, have been wonderfully accepting, as has her whole family. I'm lucky to be a part of it. He actually did it, you know. She was like, yeah, you can try if you want. I doubt she's gonna like you though because she's married. Oop. Well, I'm glad they're all happy now. Yeah, we made a pact when we were 18 to get married if we were both single at 30. We were not dating. We married at 24 years old, 7 years and 3.5 kids later. And I don't regret it one bit. 3.5 kids later, so like one is still inside. So 3 kids, and she's pregnant again. 3.5 kids later. Why? A friend and I made a similar pact when we were 17 and the marriage age was 25, because idiot teens feel like that's forever away. When 25 rolled around, we were like, that was so stupid of us, and continued as we were. He's married now. I'm with a cool partner, but no plans for marriage yet. Oh. They were like, oh my goodness, that was fast. You know, 8 years came by fast. Yeah, let's not get married. My wife said she made this pact with a guy who took it seriously, I guess. We went to high school together, so I know of him, and he randomly calls 10 years later and asked my wife if she is still with me. She said yes, and he hung up, and we haven't heard since. He's waiting, eh? He's waiting. He's totally waiting. He's like, okay, I'll call 1 year later. I'll call 2 years later. He's totally waiting. Had this happen with a best friend of mine. She said if both of us were single at 35, we'd get married to each other. 2 years later, I ask her out. She is taken aback. Ghosts me for a year, then invites me to her wedding. I had no hard feelings, so went anyways. Wow, she ghosted her best friend just because he asked her out. She could have been a good friend and just refused him, but still be friends, you know? It's gonna be a bit awkward, but if you genuinely treat them as your best friend, they're still gonna be your friend, you know? You're really just gonna ditch your best friend just because he had feelings for you? That's kind of sad. And then she invites him to her wedding after ghosting him and not talking to him at all. I don't know how I feel about this. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.